I'm
Keyba.
I'm the Prince of Darkness.
Yo, what's up, Key Gang? Hopefully you enjoyed a little bit of, I don't know, I had some fun earlier when I was making that intro. So, well, today we're going to go over Necro. I decided to do Necro before Mesmer. It's the final of the two classes that I want to talk about, some updates. Thank you all for supporting me through this. I know just when I look back at some of the older videos that I've created where I have this whole little, is it worth it to pick up as a new player or things like that, you've kind of all stuck with me while we try to refine a lot of these, I don't know what to say, rough edges that I generally have when I make these. First time as really trying to explain in the best way possible to you all how these classes work in Guild Wars 2, making it as engaging as possible as well. We've grown quite a following, so definitely I'm so glad that you guys appreciate this and find value in it. We're gonna keep going. Just a couple updates. I know there's a lot of projects that we have. A lot of the comments have been asking about doing some of the old fight breakdowns. Trust me, those are coming next after I just want to get through these. Those will definitely be coming along the way, and I feel like those are a little bit more easier to make. So yeah, expect those a little bit more frequently. And also make sure, if you guys know, I'll put out a poll, but I'm starting to stream on YouTube now every Saturday. I want to do streaming on Saturdays, but if you guys prefer Twitch, let me know in the comments. I could do either YouTube or Twitch. It doesn't matter to me. I just wanted to do YouTube because I feel like since everyone here is already following and has notifications on, then it would be easy for you guys to just have a all-in-one, one-stop shop in order to get some Guild Wars 2 content as it stands. And if you're new to the channel, please show some support by following. We've grown quite a large community once again, and I would love for you to be a part of it. And if you find any of my videos helpful, definitely show by liking this one particularly. I guess we'll have a goal. Let's try to get like 50 likes. I'm starting small. Just want to see where we are. So anyways, guys, let's get right into, I guess, what we're going to talk about today, which is the Necro. So the mechanics are really easy with Necromancer. All you're really trying to manage is your life force. Life force is a bar that you have on your display that you start to build up as you're in combat, whether it be through PvE mobs, PvP, or world versus world, whatever you're fighting, if it's a player or if it's a monster. That will allow you to, will gain you access into what's called Death Shroud. Death Shroud is essentially another part of Necromancer. You get access to unique skills, and you also get another health bar that covers your main health bar. So to me, it's a very good and simple mechanic. The only difference between this health bar and a regular health bar is even if you aren't being attacked, the life force does start to drain. So you will see that as you start to play this. Necromancer also have more health than the other scholars, what they call light armor users. So that is another benefit to Necromancer. So they're really good at putting conditions onto enemies. They are the main class that likes to use fear. I would say Necromancer, if you were to come into the game fresh, just picking up the free player version, you would have a decent time playing Necromancer. A lot of the skills that you'll be using, I'll get into it later, but just primarily from the profession mechanic, it's really easy to use. It's one button, and that one button definitely has a lot more benefits than some of the other mechanics of other classes. Now, there are skills. You can click this on the wiki. Once again, I always link the wiki. I always link the wikis down below, so you have access to that as well. You can read those whenever you feel like it. I definitely recommend any new player or even an experienced player that wants to learn other classes so they could fight them or they could just start to learn how to play them. Definitely read what your skills do. It makes a huge difference. Just to break down kind of why you would use these corruptions, they're like double-edged swords. They apply conditions to both Necromancer and targets cast. You could use a corruption skill if you're looking to play more Condi variant, a condition variant build, so like do damage over time, and especially when you're doing player versus player or World versus World corruptions. Even if they're a double-edged sword, some of the corruptions, the benefits outweigh the cost. Minions, you could use those anywhere. You would generally see, and you know, anybody who wants to have just an army of minions walking around in open world PvE, especially PvP. Minionmancer has been around for a while. It's been in and out of the metas constantly, so you would generally see Minionmancers when you're looking to have that Necromancer that can withstand a lot of damage. Signets, just like any other class, they provide a passive bonus and can be activated to lose the passive, but the bonus they produce is a more powerful effect for a shorter period of time. Once again, the passive bonus does go away until the signet is fully reset off the cooldowns. Spectrals. Spectrals are a skill that you could possibly use in all game modes. They're very, very well balanced. You'll see these a lot used in PvP and World versus World, mainly because these grant life force. They also do stun breaks. But there's one in particular where you're able to gain boons such as swiftness and also teleportation effects. So if you're looking for a more defensive style of play, if you feel like that you're going to be focused a lot in a game, you would definitely want to take a spectral skill type. And then wells, these are for long-lasting effects. A lot of the times wells are mainly used in World versus World. Because there's so much going around, you want to limit the amount of actual fine motor skills that you're using in a match, especially when it's 15 versus 15 or 20 plus on each side. Wells are a quick and easy way of you to be effective, do damage, or even place boons around you or heal yourself as well as your allies. Now, the two unique professions to Necromancer are going to be Reaper and Scourge. Reaper gives you access to shout skills. Similar to Warrior, shout skills allow you to put boons around yourself, but also they do damage to enemies. Now they're area of effect skills, so you don't necessarily have to have something targeted. Reapers do use shouts whenever they want to apply some sort of damage condition or debuff onto an enemy when they're attacking them. Punishment skills are part of Scourge, and that's the Path of Fire specialization. This skill focuses on providing boons to allies and conditions to enemies, while also corrupting boons on enemies. So these are similar to maybe the Spectrals. They're kind of a mix between Spectrals and corruptions, in my opinion. You can kind of interchange them out if you want. Once you're playing Scourge, once again, you only have access to these types of skills whenever you're actually playing the specialization. So then we'll go into the 5 core specializations and the 2 elite ones. The 5 core ones, you're going to see Spite, Curses, Death Magic, Blood Magic, Soul Reaping. And then the elite ones are obviously Scourge and Reaper. Kind of break it down, Spite is more of power damage specialization, increases might generation, applies vulnerability to enemies, and also enhances your focus, axe, and signet skills. I see a lot of Reapers using Spite. They don't use it as much anymore, mainly because it has been nerfed. However, Spite is still good if you're looking to just be pure damage. I do believe that Spite has a place right now in PvE, so that's the trait line that you'd be looking at. Definitely pay attention to those, as it enhances your axe skill, which is mainly a power damage weapon. Curses focus on applying conditions, improve condition damage, and benefit critical hits. This also enhances Scepter and Corruption skills. Now, Curses is kind of the opposite of Spite, except the fact that it mainly is for enhancing condition damage. So if you're looking to play a condition Necro, whether it be Scourge or Core Necro or Reaper, however you want to play it, Curses would be the go-to as one of your core specializations. Now, Death Magic is more of a defensive specialization that grants you more toughness, protection against condition, and enhances minions. If you are wanting to play more of a defensive Necromancer, say a Minionmancer in PvP, where you can handle yourself in outnumbered situations, then Death Magic would be a trait line that you'd want to be looking at, especially if you were looking to play Minionmancer. Now, the Blood Magic focuses on support through healing, life stealing, and reviving allies, may enhance Dagger and Warhorn skills. Blood magic is really good. Even if you're playing damage, I would definitely take blood magic over death magic in team fight situations. Blood magic is really good for making sure that you survive, but also helping your allies survive. There are some traits in blood magic specialization that can help you revive faster and also teleport down players to you so that way you can revive them as well. Soul Reaping focuses on improving Death Shroud, Life Force generation, and this also enhances marks from staff skill. Now, Soul Reaping is also one of the ones that I would believe is a primary specialization. That and Blood Magic are my two favorite. The reason why is because if you're playing Necromancer, especially in PvP or World versus World, you definitely want to have your staff skills unblockable, meaning your marks that you can throw onto the nodes won't be able to be blocked by Aegis, won't be able to be blocked by warrior blocks or any other character that has a block ability. And that's really, really strong when you're trying to apply pressure onto a node to force an enemy off, or to apply pressure in order to control them or kill them. So Soul Reaping, really, really important. I definitely recommend you pay attention to the specific traits in this over all the other ones. Reaper focuses on melee power damage, gives you access to great sword and shout skills. Now, what's cool about Necromancer is that your elite specializations also replace your Death Shroud with, for example, Reaper gives you Reaper Shroud. This gives you access to the Reaper that has a big scythe. Now, this is mainly focused on power damage. You just go around slicing and dicing everybody that's on the enemy team, or slicing and dicing a raid boss, whatever that you want to be killing, and it does a lot of damage. Then Scourge right now is looking more as it focuses on support. There's also condition damage and gives boon corruptions. So Scourge is somewhat, if I'm not mistaken, meta in player versus player right now. And I still believe it is really strong in World versus World. I do believe it is one of the core professions that roaming guilds, and roaming by I mean like 15 or 20 plus, not skirmish guilds of 5 men or women. But yeah, they're really strong in large scale fights, medium scale fights, just because of the amount of pressure and support that a Scourge can give based on that elite specialization. Once again, you can see the traits as well on the wiki. We're going to the weapons. So you have a few categories of weapons. You can use two-handed weapons such as greatsword and staff. I definitely think staff is good regardless if you're playing power or Condi, because it does generate life force better than a lot of the other weapons, especially with Soul Reaping. Main hand, you also have axe, dagger, and scepter. Then offhand, dagger, focus, warhorn, and torch. So if you're looking to hunt any specific legendary weapons, if greatsword, staff, or any of the other ones that I mentioned are something that you like, then just add that to your belt as reasons why you want to play Necromancer. So we're going into the meta battle. I love looking at meta battle, see what the community, they create a bunch of builds, throw them up here, and whichever one gets high community support tends to be what the meta is. Now we're going through, once again, Conquest is PvP, Fractal Dungeon, Open World, Rage Strike, and World versus World as well. And you see here, Scourge, Blood Support is going to be the best, but all three specializations are really, really strong. And this is because Necro's trait lines, like some of the other videos I made, I believe I made it one when I was speaking about Guardian, Necro trait lines as well are really, really strong. They synergize well. They're all good trait lines fundamentally. So you won't have any problem playing any type of build that you want in World versus World. Or PvP as well, sorry. Fractal Dungeons, they're somewhat decent DPS. Obviously, you have Weaver, and Soul Beast, which are going to be just, they take everything out of the water when it comes to DPS. Open World as well is really, really strong. Reaper is a really good class if you're looking to do map completion or just do open world content. You won't have a problem killing any mobs, especially elites. Raid and Strikes, Power DPS Reaper. Once again, just much DPS gets overshadowed by Soul Beast and Weaver. Then World versus World, Scourge, Power Curses. You can still play Power Wells, Reaper, and if you want to do roaming, then you still have the access to Core Necro and Greatsword Roamer. There's a lot of great builds. I definitely think Necro is a good class, especially as a starting player. If you're looking to get into Guild Wars 2, and you want to play, definitely recommend Necro as a class that you should play. I'm going to get into some footage now about some of the playstyle. This is mainly going to be PvP footage. As you guys know, I spend most of my time in Guild Wars 2 PvPing, so that's why you just get more of the action. There's not really much downtime, and I know what I'm going to get. I feel like it's the best way to show everybody. So you guys will get a little bit of what I mean when I say Necro is probably one of the easiest classes to play in Guild Wars 2 when you're just starting out, or even, yeah, it's just in general, it is one of the easiest. Kind of showing you here as I doing PvP, Necro, it didn't take me too long to learn. Really, I just sat back, put my marks down on the node. Everyone has to fight for a node anyways. And also you get your Lich form. Even though I'm in a condition build right now, you can see that Lich still hits for a ton of damage on the enemies right now. So putting a lot of pressure here. I have 3 people on me, one's knocking me away, and now as you see, I'm kiting back and forth, get 2 kills right there. I'm focusing on this third right here. So as you can tell, it's not too difficult. I didn't even have to have a lot of them targeted. We can watch that again. Just that main initial fight where, let's just see, I have my own teammate targeted at this point. So scoot up a little bit. I have at this point I have the Revenant targeted, but you can see the Mesmer is actually taking a lot of damage from me as well, and so is the Necro. I'm still really trying to put a lot of pressure on it, but I ended up getting the kill on the Necro there, or the Mesmer, and then get the kill on the Revenant. Now the other Necro surprisingly does get away, but here's kind of another point: the teleporting, the movement skills. Then you also have the long range, 1200 range attacks there, just constantly putting pressure on it, interrupting them, zoning them with the fear ring right there, ring of warding, I believe. And at the end of the day, we just end up securing this kill. His teammates there trying to res them, and we're just putting a lot of pressure. It's effectively a 2v3 here, and so yeah, as you can see, Necro is pretty sustainable. It's pretty easy to play, and even though it is easy to play, it does a ton of damage. Now, Reaper is a little bit more difficult if you're playing the glass cannon build. It's just very, very hard to maintain your shroud and sustain. However, the damage is still pretty insane. It is a ton of damage, so if you're able to lock down your opponent or even get a couple of good bursts on them, you see here the shroud just obliterates whoever you're fighting there. Auto attacks going for 3.7k. I mean, you can see how this is very effective in a team fight. And so we'll try to find a team fight here. I don't think I got many team fights, but as you can see, even just focusing what your team decided to focus, you can pretty much kill anything. If you can lock them down on Reaper, right? We'll just watch this Revenant here. Actually, no, we'll watch this Ellie. This Ellie's here and just instantly goes to 0 HP running in. Yes, there's 4 people attacking. However, Necro, especially Reaper, just puts up so much damage that it is virtually impossible to react fast enough or in order to heal. So if you're looking for PvP right there, as you see, I just end up cleaving this Ellie in 3 hits and trying to put a lot of pressure damage there on the Necro, which does work for a little bit. I end up just trying to kite at this point, end up dying. As you can see how bursty it is, it doesn't have a lot of survivability. However, if you're in the right conditions, if you're aware of your team, if your team is strong enough to survive on their own and they can, all things being equal, if you are the deciding factor and you're on Reaper, guaranteeing the team fights that you are going to have maximum impact on your teammates. You see I'm on Scourge now, and this is the Mender support build here. This is why I'm saying if you're really going to look at playing the meta, just playing Scourge is going to carry you a lot. You can just drop everything you see here. As you can tell, I'm dropping everything. I dropped all my cooldowns in one spot. Just to kind of show you guys that all the skills you're really using on this particular build are going to be area of effect abilities. So it makes it virtually impossible for anyone trying to fight you on a node. I'll show you here, right? I believe I'm in a little bit of a 1v1 against this Renegade. So just trying to attack him, seeing if he can turn around. He doesn't at first, but he does and gets a knockdown on me. I end up dodging that. Poison Gas Cloud does block projectiles, so he's not able to hit me here. I try to dodge the Jade Winds, and I'm putting a ton of marks on them. My HP is fine. I know his HP is fine, but you can see there's going to be a point in time where he does take a lot of damage from me just being able to lock him down and comboing my skills here. And even though, as you can see here, I'll just, oops. Let's see, I end up, once again, I use my Harbinger Shroud. I'm just dropping a bunch of auto attacks. He does stand in the Harbinger Shroud there. And my HP is still pretty good. I am out of cooldowns right now, but as you could tell from his status bar up at the top, he's gonna have a ton of conditions on him, which does help me a lot, because even now, for the most part, I will say what I really try to do is I try to drop as much stuff as possible. I wasn't really paying too close attention to the actual fight. I was just dropping things at my feet, and it ended up, you know, we're both kind of in the same spot, but his HP is less and it's ticking down. Now, I did have a teammate come and help me out a little bit. However, I do still feel as though the node pressure that I had versus the Renegade, which Renegade is still in a really good position. It's very, very strong. But don't discount a Renegade build. It has a lot of node pressure as well. But still, I'm sure Mystic Aria might have more Revenant experience than I have Necro. And I was still able to do massive amounts of damage on a build that I have literally 3 hours of playtime on. Simply because of the fact that mechanically, Necro is really, really strong in PvP. And even PvE, as I mentioned, you know, being a Reaper, all you have to do is auto attack on Reaper form, use a couple axe autos, and you've done, you know, 100,000 damage right then and there. But yeah, guys, yeah, hopefully you liked that, a little bit of the in-depth analysis there on Necro. Once again, I will be doing Mesmer next. And after that, we're going to go into some more fight recaps, similar to what I was just doing towards the end of that video. But we're going to go just a full 15-minute long video. What I'm planning to do is doing every single role, walking through. Doesn't matter if we win the game, doesn't matter if we lose. I'm not going to edit anything. And I'll also try to do more roaming videos. Just quick little update. I have a couple of ideas of what I want to do with a roaming series, playing off of my Murga video. So stick around. Please definitely, once again, consider subscribing so you can get all the future content that I will be posting out. And if you're already subscribed, like this video and join my Discord. We are still doing the contest to the end of the month, where whoever comes up with the best community name gets Discord Nitro and 200 gold. Also on my Discord, there will be monthly giveaways of 400 gems, but you have to be a member of the Discord. So sign up, and until then, guys, I will see you all on the next video. Take care.